Star Wars fans and Rule of the Galaxy fans. It is Joe. We are doing another list today, another Star Wars list here on the Rule of the Galaxy YouTube channel. Please follow us at Rule of the Galaxy pretty much across all social media platforms. And check out our weekly show, Rule of the Galaxy, on the podcast, podcast, I keep saying podcast platform of choice. We're on pretty much all of them, and we usually put out a weekly show, so go check that out. But today, as you know, I'm a big book guy. I recently did the canon books for Star Wars, my list of canon books. This is my list of legends or expanded universe books and series, because some of them are rather large series of books. So the expanded universe and legends top 10 list of books and series. There's actually a tie at number 10 that is between Shadows of the Empire by Steve Perry and the Han Solo Trilogy by Brian Daley. So probably the Brian Daley one, you know, brings me back to my childhood the most, back in the late 70s, early 80s, reading that. But I love the Shadows of the Empire, the movie without the movie that we had in 1996, I believe. So Shadows of the Empire and Han Solo Trilogy by Steve Perry and by Brian Daley. That ties at number 10. Number 9, the Han Solo Trilogy by A.C. Crispin. Love that series. You really could have taken that and weave that into the Solo movie. It was just a really great one. Lots of new character depth and a lot of new storylines going on in the Han Solo Trilogy by A.C. Crispin. Number 8, the Jedi Academy Trilogy by Kevin J. Anderson. Just great EU books from back in the day. Loved all those series that were coming out in the 90s and early 2000s. But the Jedi Academy Trilogy by Kevin J. Anderson is number 8. Number 7, Fate of the Jedi. That was an entire series by multiple writers. There were 9 books in that series. Really enjoyed that series right there. 9 books, Fate of the Jedi. Number 6, Legacy of the Force series. Again, another 9-book series. Just some great artwork on the front of the books, some great character development and stories. Really enjoyed the Legacy of the Force series by multiple authors. Number 5, the New Jedi Order series. Now, this one, it took quite a bit of time. Now, I think it was like 4 years, 3 or 4 years that this series went over. 19 books in this series. The New Jedi Order series started off by the book Vector Prime. Fantastic series. I know there's, some people that truly love it, some people that hate it. This was a way that I think you could have taken taken some future Star Wars movies and done some things to where it wasn't all about the New Republic or Rebels versus the Empire or the First Order, but an alien species that came in and made a formidable foe for the Jedi and the governments and so forth. New Jedi Order series, number 5, 19-book series, multiple authors. Number 4, the Plagueis book by James Luceno. If you haven't read it, go check it out, as we've talked about on this show. And I think we did a review of this. Nick Shesky and I did a review of this on our podcast. Plagueis, great book, gives you more story and depth into Darth Sidious, the Emperor, Darth Plagueis, his master, things like that. James Luceno, great book. Number 3, the Kenobi book by John Jackson Miller. As I mentioned in our canon book list, John Jackson Miller, one of my favorites, great guy, has also been on the show. So love to have him back sometime soon. Number 2, the Darth Bane trilogy by Drew Karpyshyn. Again, Drew has been a guest on the show, on the podcast. Really love what he does. Love his work, not just this series, but other series that he does. But The Path of Destruction, The Rule of Two, The Dynasty of Evil, all those books are fantastic. Darth Bane, Darth Zana, so many great characters. Love that series. So number 2, the Darth Bane trilogy by Drew Karpyshyn. And then number 1, as most of you would guess, the Thrawn Trilogy by Timothy Zahn, Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, The Last Command, you get Mara Jade, you get Talon Card, you get Grand Admiral Thrawn, you get the Nogri. You have so many great characters and new stories in that. It just really felt like we are back in the Star Wars universe. So that is my top 10 in the Legends books. Hopefully, you've got some feedback and comments on that. And email us at rulethegalaxysw@gmail.com. Please go subscribe to our podcast, Rule the Galaxy. And until next time, may the Force be with you.